we're going to get out of here. There's one coming over now, Caitlin. Go.
India's escaped. Chaos.
India's escaped home. Alright crew, welcome back to another episode. This one's a bit different. We are here at Bundigi Sanctuary Zone. I think this is the Bundigi Sanctuary Zone.
Yeah.
But it's where the mangroves are. And just out behind us here, there's beautiful shark aggregation going on. So there's a couple of different types of sharks going on. And we're going to try and film it with you in all the ways. In the water, from the sky. That's all the ways, isn't it?
Document all of the beautiful little sharkies.
Yeah. But Caitlin's going to say something about swimming with sharks.
So we obviously don't recommend for anyone to just jump in the water and swim with an aggregation of sharks. We've both spent lots of time in the water with sharks and are able to read their body language and behaviour, and we know most of the time when is a good time to be in the water with sharks and when isn't. And obviously any time that you're getting in the ocean, but especially in a situation like this, you have to acknowledge that there is a risk. Sharks have the ability to hurt you, not that they would want to, but they can. So
and so if anything does happen to us, it's not the shark's fault.
Yeah,
we're the ones choosing to do this.
Yeah, we are making a choice,
and that's the important thing. And I feel like you take risks all through life. There are certain risks I'm willing to accept and certain risks I'm not. This is a risk. I think it's an educated risk. It's an educated choice.
But obviously that evolves through the experience, and if we get in there and decide that we don't want to be in there, then we can get out again.
Yeah,
but,
and we'll be assessing that all the way through. Today isn't the first day we've got in with them. We've been in with them before in the creation of this episode, and so we know what to expect when we're getting in there, and if there's anything different than that, we will be very cautious of that. So we've got some built-in things in the way that we communicate with each other and the way that you can approach them. But also it's in very shallow water, so a lot of the stuff out there is in very shallow water, waist deep max. There are some spots where we're swimming fully, but it's very shallow water, so we can stand up.
But there's a couple of different types of sharks aggregating here. We think we've got grey reef sharks, black tip reef sharks. We've spotted a couple lemon sharks in here.
Yeah. And
potentially nervous sharks as well. So a bunch of different ones here. So we're gonna take you in, show you what's up.
Right, I'm gonna put the mask and fins on now. I'm gonna swim for a bit, just because this bit's quite rocky. It's sort of a bit tide. So there are tides that you can come here, and this is all out of the water, and you can pretty much walk all the way out and you can see the sharks, and that's why I want to do most of the in-water stuff and the drone stuff on the low tide in the morning or in the afternoon. Crew, so we're out now. We've just gone through one patch of sharks. Sorry. We've just gone through one patch of sharks, and we've noticed they're quite flighty. We think most of them are grey reef sharks. There's a couple of black tip reef sharks in there. The grey reef sharks are a little bit, I don't really like their attitude at the moment.
They're very inquisitive.
Very inquisitive, Caitlin puts it. But I think they're They're just on alert, but I wouldn't normally be out here on this tide. I've normally got a bit more of a height advantage. We're just in a gully between the sandbars at the moment. But anyway, we're about to come up to another sandbar here. We're going to have a wander. When we get up a bit higher, we should be able to see the shadows of the sharks from the surface, and we'll show you that. Oh yeah, I can see a few over there now. Alright, so we're going to make our way over there. We'll get some more water shots for you. If these ones, because there's so many more here, if these ones are the same attitude as the ones in the real shallow water there, I'm not going to hang around for too long. We're going to get out of here. There's one coming over now, Caitlin, just coming over the sandbar. Alright. Anyway, we'll bring you along. Okay, so there's Caitlin. You can just see that dark shape over there moving through the water. That's a shark. And then as I look up and look and point you guys down a little bit, you'll see all those dark shapes over there. They're all sharks. We are going to see if we can have a look at them in the water. So, this is probably a good time to talk about shark behaviour. Now you can see this shark here, a grey reef shark, has its pec fins down, and this is widely regarded as aggressive behaviour. But I would argue that it's more of a threatened behaviour, so the shark is feeling threatened. Sharks use their pec fins to steer, and when they're moving quicker, they drop them more so that they can turn rapidly. Now you'll see most of the sharks that we see in this video try and keep their distance. This one here is coming in straight at us, turns away, but it's fairly relaxed, it's moving fairly slowly, and its pec fins, while they're down a little bit, aren't that aggressive. This one has just realised that we're there, and it's darted away. In some ways they might be testing our space. Now we're going to see some footage from the drone, and you can see the sharks are moving fairly slowly, they're swimming around in circles, and they're very relaxed. This is now sped up 5 times, so you can see that this goes on for some time. You can see some other sharks coming in from the top there. They're going to join this circle. Now we're going to go into some footage here, and you can see these sharks that are swimming around relaxed, but watch this shark. This shark here notices the other sharks coming in from the right and then darts away in the same way it was behaving when the other sharks realized that we were in the water. So we're a foreign object to these sharks. Here we are again. You can see this shark and it notices the proximity of the other sharks, and then suddenly gets surprised and darts away. So they're in a bit of a relaxed state while they're swimming around in these circles in this aggregation, and then suddenly something foreign comes in, like here. This is a different species of shark that comes in and startles the grey reef shark. So that was a black-tip reef shark. You can see here from the drone Caitlin swimming around, and all of the sharks are very relaxed. You get the odd one that bumps into another shark and gets a little bit startled, but most of them are keeping a safe distance. You can see that one just realised Caitlin was there. Caitlin's very relaxed, all the sharks are relaxed, but slowly they dissipate and start to disappear away from the proximity of Caitlin. And that's because they don't really want to interact with us. So yeah, a little bit on shark behaviour there. Hope you guys enjoyed that. We're going to go now into some more footage from that day and the other days when we were out swimming with the shark aggregation.
Circle around me, literally all around me. It was so
Alright, some sharks are able to regulate their body temperature, such as white sharks, and they're called...
They're part of the Lamnidae group.
Lamnidae group. But these sharks we think are ectothermic, which means they are unable to regulate their own body temperature. There's a school of baitfish there. See them? So they're unable to regulate their own body temperature. Now, one of the theories, scientific theories, as to why they come into these warmer, shallow waters is because of that inability to regulate their body temperature. So, as we've just experienced walking through this shallow water over here, that water over there is close to 50 degrees. It's hot.
So hot.
Water that we're in here, what do you reckon, 35?
Much cooler.
Maybe 30 degrees. In any event, the sharks are coming in here, in theory, the theory has it, to regulate their body temperature. And that may allow them to, maybe assist them with digestion. What other theories were there? So one of the more romantic theories is it helps them increase the speed of their gestation. So that's how long they carry their pups. So these are viviparous sharks, which means that they bear live young. And to increase the speed of gestation, how long they carry the pups in their belly would obviously be an advantage, because they can get them out there and amongst it. And then we know, we've seen juvenile sharks hanging out in the real shallow water, and they're only about this big, little tiny pups. So yeah, that's one theory, and I think we've covered all of the theories, haven't we?
Yeah, pretty much. And these theories could also be different for the different species of sharks as well. So we've obviously got a few different... I
didn't cover that, did I? Sorry, go.
We've got a few different species of sharks here. So these theories could be different for the different species. We've noticed that with the black-tip sharks, they've got mating scars. A few of them have lots of mating scars over their body. So that sort of suggests maybe that more romantic theory of wanting to speed up their gestation, whereas the...
Or just a nice place to gather to get hot and sweaty.
Yeah. But the grey reef sharks are all really clean, and they're all very healthy looking, very plump. So that could sort of be going with either theory, but they don't appear to be mating. We've spent a lot of time out here over the last week or so, and we haven't seen any mating behaviour from them. But
they've obviously been feeding, because we did see one of the grey reef sharks with a hook and a line trailing out the back of it.
Yeah.
So they've obviously been feeding. Yeah. That's all I've got to say about that. All right, anyway, we're going to roll on a little bit more beautiful drone footage that we got in the real glassy water. As you can see, this looks very flat, but the pristine conditions for filming these sharks is when it's like a mirror, because it looks like they're just flying in the air. And so we're going to roll on some of that footage now. Go. Okay guys, we are back. So this is obviously going to have been filmed over several days, different times of the day, in fact different years. There's going to be footage in here from previous years that we filmed in this exact spot at this time of year with these beautiful sharks aggregating in this area. This year's actually a pretty good one. There's a lot of sharks there, and we've tried in previous years to get people in the water with them, and this is probably the closest we've been to them.
Yeah.
You would have seen in the footage, they're quite skittish. They don't want to come near you.
But cool to get close to them because you could get a little bit more of an insight into why they might be aggregating. So in the shallows as we were swimming out, we saw lots of juveniles. I saw juvenile grey reef and black-tip reef sharks. And then once we got out there, a lot of the black-tip reef sharks had lots of mating scars. So they looked like they could potentially be aggregating here to mate. Whereas the grey reef sharks didn't really have any obvious mating scars, but they were all looking very healthy, full tummies.
Just so everyone knows, mating scars are from when the male bites the female just behind the gills while mating.
Yeah, that's how they hold on.
That's how they hold on. So, Caitlin's just presuming everyone's a marine biologist.
No, I said it in the last time we were filming. I explained this whole thing.
Did you?
Yep, yesterday.
Okay, well let's just making sure everyone knows what's going on. Cool. Anyway, that's about it for us. We don't have any information to give you, and if we do discover any, we'll do it in a voiceover. If we read anything interesting.
Are you really ending the video by saying we have no idea about anything, but here's some nice videos of sharks? I just said what we think it is.
Okay, you finish it then. And there are again species of sharks that I trust more than I trust other species. There are some like leopard sharks. Never even think about swimming with a leopard shark. Whale shark. I would never think twice about swimming with a whale shark. You know, it's biggest thing to worry about with a whale shark would be getting hit by it. And the best way to stay away with that is just keep away from them a little bit.
Yeah.
You'll never get hit by a whale shark if you've got half a brain. But then there are some sharks where you just need to be a little bit more cautious.
And their behaviour can change throughout your interaction as well. We found that yesterday when we first hopped in, they seemed to be testing us a little bit. They were sort of charging straight at us, and then once they realised that we weren't going to back away, they would quickly dart off. So throughout our interaction, they chilled out and became a lot more aware of us and kind of stayed away. So yeah, if you do see a shark in the water, just judge its behaviour as best you can, and if you don't feel confident in judging the behaviour, then just hop out of the water and don't put yourself in that situation.
And if you're worried about it, really worried about it, don't get in the water.
It's their home, after all.
Yeah, you'll be fine. Alright, you're more likely to get hit by a car.
Or struck by lightning, or die in a bathtub.
Struck by lightning in a submarine.
Really?
Yeah, actually killed by a falling coconut.
Well, that one seems like...
You're more likely to die by a falling coconut than you are to get eaten by a shark.
Or getting crushed by a vending machine.
Or getting crushed by, or in a car accident. Anyway, they don't need to hear all this. Guys, thanks for joining us. We'll see you next week here on Ningaloo Crew.
Bye!
We're going to rotate this later. The really funny thing that gets me is when we got here, there was like a little family just swimming in the water here. And if you were in Perth, there'd have been a helicopter going over and there'd have been a shark alert put out and the beach would be closed. Mercifully, we have just left the bumpiest track in the world. Was that good?
It's like I'm sitting next to him. I'm a bit starstruck.
That's recording. You ready?
I did.
You gonna stand there?
Where? Here.
Well, the camera's there.
I need to be on a mound so I'm taller.
I'll go and dig myself in here. No, you go there.
No, because then I'm too close.
We good?
Yeah.
Alright, crew.
Awkwardly hold that.
What do you mean awkwardly?
It's unsatisfying.
What are you talking about? I've got everything ready to go. This water, you could cook noodles in it.
Yeah,
Don't you reckon?
I wish we had some noodles.
You could cook. Focus.
I'm so hungry.
Focus, Caitlin. Make it a port of
There we go.
landscape.
What? You've been filming like this the whole time?
No, film this way, landscape.
Alright, we're in landscape mode. Action!
I'm doing the heat wave shuffle. Heat waves are ideal for most conditions, but while they provide you with a nice cushion to walk on, they're also quite resistant against the water with the wide brim.
Especially with
Caitlin's wearing another brand. Which
I got Flyers.
No!
And I am absolutely cruising through. Not a bit of resistance. I am literally, I'm hovering.
You've only got a size 3 foot. You can ski on these.
Ooh,
Look at this, watch. If you go quickly through the water. What?
There's a hole.
No, look. If you go quickly through the water, you can ski.
Yeah, go on. We should try towing you behind the sea panda with your heat waves on.
If you want to see that, drop a comment.